Tonight I shall share with you the most profound secret of creation, how to speak blessings upon yourself and instantly transform your entire world. So you see, when you truly understand how to bless yourself, you are engaging in the highest form of creation. So you are doing what God does continuously. Consider the first chapter of Genesis, where God speaks blessings upon his creation. Notice how he didn't ask anyone else to bless his work. He blessed it himself. This is the pattern you must follow, for you are that same creative power individualized as you. Let me share with you why blessing yourself is the most powerful act you can perform. First, you must understand that when you speak a blessing upon yourself, you are not engaging in mere positive thinking or affirmations. You are exercising your divine creative power, for you are God individualized as you. Many of you come to me seeking blessings from others, from teachers, from gurus, from religious leaders. But I tell you now, no one can bless you more powerfully than you can bless yourself. For you are the operant power in your world, and your word is the creative power of God in action. When you speak a blessing upon yourself, you are doing what God did in the beginning. Remember the words, and God blessed them. He didn't wait for someone else to bless his creation. He blessed it himself. And you, being made in his image and likeness, must do the same. Let me share with you the proper way to speak blessings upon yourself. First, you must understand that when you say, I bless myself, you are not speaking as a mortal being. You are speaking as God individualized. For your I am is God. And when you speak blessings from your I am, you are speaking with all the power of creation. Consider this: every time you speak a blessing upon yourself, you are literally recreating your world. For your word is God's word, and God's word cannot return void. It must accomplish that which it is sent to do. But and this is crucial, your blessings must be spoken with understanding and feeling. You cannot merely repeat words mechanically and expect results. You must feel the truth of the blessing as you speak it. For feeling is the secret. And without feeling, words are empty. Let me give you a perfect example from Scripture. When Isaac blessed Jacob, he felt the blessing as he spoke it. He wasn't just saying words, he was feeling the reality of what he was declaring. And this is exactly how you must speak blessings upon yourself. Many of you might be thinking, but Neville, isn't it selfish to bless myself? Let me tell you something, it is the most unselfish thing you can do. For when you bless yourself, truly understanding that you are God individualized, you are blessing all of creation. For there is no other. What you see as others is yourself pushed out. Let me share with you how to properly structure your self-blessings. Begin with your I am. For this is the name of God. Then speak your blessing with absolute conviction. For example, I am blessed with perfect health. I am blessed with unlimited abundance. I am blessed with divine wisdom. But remember, these are not mere affirmations. They are acknowledgments of what is already true in consciousness. For when you speak a blessing upon yourself, you are not trying to make something true. You are acknowledging what is already true in the spiritual realm. Consider this principle I have tested and proven countless times. When you bless yourself, you are performing the highest act of creation. For in blessing yourself, you are acknowledging your divine nature, and what you acknowledge must manifest in your experience. Let me share with you the 3 aspects of effective self-blessing. First, there is recognition. When you bless yourself, you must recognize that you speak as God individualized. Not as a mortal being hoping for good, but as the divine creator declaring what is. Second, there is feeling. Your blessings must be accompanied by the feeling of their fulfillment. When you say, I am blessed with perfect health, you must feel the vitality, the strength, the well-being that this blessing implies. For feeling is the secret of creation. Third, there is acceptance. You must accept that your blessing is already fulfilled in consciousness. Not that it will be, not that it might be, but that it is. For consciousness is the only reality, and what you accept in consciousness must externalize itself in your world. Many of you make the mistake of blessing yourself while looking at your current circumstances. But I tell you now, circumstances have no power over your blessings unless you give them that power. Your blessings create circumstances, not the other way around. Let me share with you a profound truth about self-blessing that most of the world has missed. When you bless yourself, you are not asking for something to be given to you. You are acknowledging what is already yours by divine right. For all blessings already exist in consciousness, waiting to be acknowledged and claimed. Consider the words of Scripture before they call. I will answer. This means that every blessing you could ever speak upon yourself already exists in consciousness. Your speaking of the blessing is not creating it. It is acknowledging and claiming what already is. Let me share with you how to maintain the consciousness of your self-blessings throughout your day. Most people speak a blessing and then return to their old patterns of thought. But I tell you now, your blessing must become your constant inner conversation. I think about this carefully. Every time you speak a blessing upon yourself, you are literally rearranging the entire spiritual substance of your universe. For your consciousness is God, and what God blesses must manifest. Let me give you some specific blessings that I have found particularly powerful. First, I am blessed with perfect understanding of my own divine nature. This blessing opens the door to all other blessings, for when you truly understand your divine nature, all things become possible. Second, I am blessed with the constant awareness of my creative power. This blessing keeps you mindful of your true identity as God individualized. For you see, most people forget their divine nature and slip back into mortal thinking. Third, I am blessed with the ability to see past appearances to the truth of being. This blessing helps you maintain your focus on the reality of consciousness rather than the shadows of circumstances. Consider how these blessings work together. Each one strengthens the others, creating a powerful foundation for all your other blessings. For when you truly understand your divine nature, are aware of your creative power, and can see past appearances, you become a master of conscious creation. Many of you may be wondering how often to speak these blessings. Let me tell you something. It's not about frequency, it's about consciousness. One blessing spoken with complete understanding and feeling is worth more than 1,000 spoken mechanically. Let me share with you another principle about self-blessing that most people miss. When you bless yourself, you are not speaking to yourself as a mortal being, you are speaking as God to his creation. For you are both the blesser and the blessed, the creator and the creation. Think about this carefully. When God said, "Let there be light," he didn't doubt whether it was possible. He didn't wonder about the process. He simply declared it and knew it was done. This is exactly how you must speak your blessings upon yourself. Consider the power in this understanding. When you say, "I am blessed," you are speaking with the same authority that created the universe. For your I am is the same I am that spoke all things into being. Let me share with you how to handle doubts when they arise after speaking your blessings, and they will arise. Many of you speak a blessing upon yourself and then immediately begin to question whether it will work. But I tell you now, doubt is simply your form of consciousness trying to maintain its position. Consider what happens in nature when you plant a seed. The seed doesn't doubt whether it will become what it is meant to be. It simply begins its transformation according to its nature. Your blessings work the same way. They are spiritual seeds planted in the fertile soil of consciousness. Let me give you a deeper understanding of how this works. When you say, I am blessed with perfect health, for example, you have planted a seed in consciousness. Now, just as a physical seed needs time to sprout and grow, your blessing needs time to externalize itself in your world. And this is crucial, while the outer manifestation may take and change in consciousness is immediate when the blessing is properly spoken. For you see, the moment you speak a blessing with understanding and feeling, you have altered the entire spiritual substance of your universe. Many of you may be thinking, "But Neville, I've spoken blessings before and nothing changed." Let me tell you something my teacher Abdullah taught me. Nothing changes because you spoke the words. Things change because you became what you declare. Let me share with you another principle about self-blessing that most of the world has missed. When you bless yourself, you are not trying to influence God to give you something. You are exercising your divine power as God individualized. For your consciousness is God and your word is His word. Consider the story of the prodigal son. Notice how the father didn't wait for someone else to bless his returning son. He blessed him himself. This is exactly what you must do. You must be both the father giving the blessing and the son receiving it. This brings me to a deeper truth about self-blessing. When you say I am blessing, you are acknowledging both your divine nature, I am, and your human experience, blessed. You are bringing heaven and earth together in your consciousness. Let me share with you what I call the 7 pillars of self-blessing. These are the foundational principles that must be understood if your blessings are to have their full creative power. The first pillar is recognition. You must recognize that you are the one who blesses. Not your personality, not your mortal self, but your I am. For when you say I am blessed, you are speaking as God individualized, not as a mortal being seeking favors. The second pillar is authority. When you bless yourself, you must speak with complete authority. Consider how God speaks in Scripture, not with doubt, not with hesitation, but with absolute authority. Let there be light. These are words of complete authority. The third pillar is feeling. Your blessings must be accompanied by the feeling of fulfillment. Not the feeling of wanting to be blessed, but the feeling of being blessed. For feeling is the secret, and without the proper feeling, your words lack power. The fourth pillar is present tense. Notice how God never said there will be light. He said, let there be light. Your blessings must be spoken in the present tense, for consciousness knows only now. The fifth pillar is persistence. Not the persistence of mechanical repetition, but the persistence of maintaining the consciousness of being blessed. For your blessing must become your dominant state of consciousness. The sixth pillar is understanding. You must understand that your blessing is not creating something new. It is acknowledging what already exists in consciousness. For all blessings already exist in the spiritual realm, waiting to be claimed. And the seventh pillar is gratitude. When you bless yourself, you must feel grateful not for what will come, but for what already is. For gratitude is the evidence of faith, and faith is the substance of things hoped for. Let me share with you how these 7 pillars work together. When you recognize your true identity as God individualized, speak with divine authority, feel the reality of your blessing, maintain present tense awareness, persist in the consciousness, understand the principle, and feel genuine gratitude, your blessing must manifest. Consider how this differs from what most people do. Most people speak blessings from their mortal consciousness, with doubt in their voice, feeling the lack rather than the fulfillment, thinking of future fulfillment, giving up at the first sign of delay, lacking understanding of the principle, and feeling no gratitude until they see results. Let me share with you what I call the 3 stages of self-blessing manifestation. Most people don't understand these stages, and that's why they often give up before their blessings manifest. The first stage is spiritual. This happens instantly when you speak your blessing with understanding and feeling. In this stage, you have literally rearranged the spiritual substance of your universe. This is the most crucial stage, for it is the only stage where real creation takes place. The second stage is mental. This is where your mind begins to align with your blessing. You start to think differently, see opportunities differently, and respond to life differently. Many people mistake this for mere positive thinking, but I tell you now, it is far more than that. It is your consciousness reorganizing itself according to your blessing. The third stage is physical. This is where your outer world begins to reflect your blessing. Now, here's what's fascinating about these stages. They must occur in this order. You cannot skip the spiritual stage and go straight to the physical. You cannot bypass the mental stage and expect outer results. Consider the words of Scripture, first the blade, then the ear, after that the full corn in the ear. This is describing these three stages. The blade is the spiritual acceptance. The ear is the mental alignment. And the full corn is the physical manifestation. Let me share with you how to recognize when you're in each stage. In the spiritual stage, you feel an inner knowing, a deep peace about your blessing. There might be no outer evidence yet, but you know it is done. In the mental stage, you begin to think thoughts that align with your blessing naturally, without effort. If you've blessed yourself with abundance, for example, you naturally begin to think abundant thoughts. If you've blessed yourself with health, you naturally begin to think healthy thoughts. In the physical stage, your outer world begins to rearrange itself to match your blessing. But, and this is crucial, by the time you reach this stage, you're no longer anxious about it. For you see, you've already experienced the reality of reality in consciousness. Let me give you a deeper understanding of how these stages work together. When you say, I am blessed with perfect health, you instantly create this reality in the spiritual realm. This is stage one. Then your mind begins to align with this new reality. You begin to think like a healthy person, act like a healthy person, make decisions like a healthy person. This is stage two. Finally, your body and circumstances begin to reflect this new reality. But by this time, you're no longer desperate to happen, because you've been living in the Kalpanic conscious, both perfect teachers 1 and 2. Many of you make the mistake of looking for physical evidence before you've allowed the spiritual and mental stages to complete their work. But I tell you now, this is like digging up a seed to see if it's growing. You must allow each stage to unfold in its perfect timing. Let me share with you what I call the 4 states of consciousness in self-blessing. Understanding these states is crucial, for your blessing will manifest according to the state from which you speak it. The first state is the state of desire. This is where most people begin. They speak blessings from a consciousness of wanting, of needing, of lacking. But I tell you now, this state cannot produce results, for it perpetuates the very lack it seeks to overcome. The second state is the state of hope. This is better than desire, but still not powerful enough. When you speak blessings from hope, you are acknowledging that fulfillment is possible, but you haven't yet accepted it as fact in consciousness. The third state is the state of faith. Now we're moving into creative power. When you speak blessings from faith, you are speaking with conviction, with certainty, with knowing. But there's an even higher state. The fourth state is the state of knowing. This is the highest state, the state from which God creates. When you speak blessings from this state, you are speaking as God individualized, knowing that what you declare must manifest. Consider how these states progress. In the state of desire, you say, I want to be blessed. In the state of hope, you say, I might be blessed. In the state of faith, you say, I will be blessed. But in the state of knowing, you simply say, I am blessed. Let me share with you how to move from one state to another. The movement from desire to hope happens naturally as you study and understand the law. The movement from hope to faith happens through testing the law and seeing results. But the movement from faith to knowing, this is the crucial transition. The state of knowing comes when you fully realize your own divine nature. When you understand that you are God individualized, that your consciousness is the only reality, that your word is God's word, then you naturally speak blessings from the state of knowing. Many of you may be wondering how to achieve this state of knowing. Let me tell you something, it's not achieved. It's recognized. It's not something you become. It's something you already are. Your task is to remove the veils that hide this truth from your awareness. Let me share with you what I call the 5 proofs of effective self-blessing. These are the signs that tell you your blessing is taking root in consciousness and must therefore manifest in your world. The first proof is peace. When you've spoken of blessing effectively, you feel a deep peace about it. Not the peace of resignation, but the peace of knowing. For you see, when you truly know something is done in consciousness, all anxiety about it disappears. The second proof is naturalness. Your blessing begins to feel natural to you. You no longer have to convince yourself of it. It becomes as natural as breathing, as natural as your own name. The third proof is indifference to appearances. You find yourself unmoved by contradictory circumstances, not because you're practicing positive thinking, but because you know the reality exists in consciousness, not in appearance. The fourth proof is changed inner conversation. Your habitual thoughts and internal dialogue naturally align with your blessing. You don't have to force it. It happens spontaneously because consciousness always produces thoughts that match its state. The fifth proof is inspired action. You find yourself naturally taking actions that align with your blessing, not from effort or planning, but from an inner prompting that feels completely natural. Remember, dear friends, that speaking blessings upon yourself is not an act of egotism. It is an acknowledgement of your divine nature. For you are God individualized, and your word has all the creative power of the universe behind it when spoken from that understanding. Let the truth of this sink deep into your consciousness. You are blessed, not because someone else blessed you, but because you have recognized and claimed your divine inherent through the power of self-blessing. That's the message I want to leave with you tonight. Not because it's comfortable, but because it's true. Not because it's what you expected to hear, but because it's what you needed to hear. Remember, your blessings create your reality when spoken from the consciousness of who you really are. And isn't that worth thinking about?
Have you ever noticed how people seem to attract wealth effortlessly, while others struggle to make ends meet? The contrast is stark, yet the truth behind this phenomenon is far more profound than meets the eye. It's not about luck, inheritance, or even hard work. The real secret lies in understanding the nature of reality itself. Sarah constantly worries about money, always feeling like there's never enough. She clips coupons, hesitates to spend on necessities, and lives in a perpetual state of financial anxiety. John, on the other hand, moves through life with ease. He doesn't obsess over price tags, enjoys life's pleasures, and somehow always has enough to cover his expenses and then some. What sets them apart? It's not their bank accounts or their jobs. It's their mindset, their fundamental belief about the nature of wealth and abundance. You see, we live in a world of infinite abundance. Every resource, every opportunity, every possibility exists in limitless supply. Yet most of us have been conditioned to see scarcity. We've been taught that there's only so much to go around, that we must compete for limited resources, that wealth is hard to come by and even harder. This illusion of lack is just that, an illusion. There's a veil pulled over our eyes, obscuring the true nature of our reality. But once you understand this truth, once you truly grasp the concept of abundance, your entire world shifts. Think about it. Nature itself is a testament to abundance. A single apple seed can grow into a tree that produces thousands of apples, each containing seeds for thousands more trees. The universe expands infinitely. Ideas and creativity flow endlessly. There is no true scarcity in our world, only the scarcity we create in our mind. But how do we break free from this illusion? How do we step into the reality of abundance? It starts with a fundamental shift in consciousness. You must begin to see yourself not as a mere participant of the world, struggling to get your share, but as the creator of your reality. Your consciousness, your awareness, is the very substance from which your world is formed. This isn't some new age concept or wishful thinking. It's a principle that's been understood by great minds throughout history. The world you experience is a reflection of your inner state, your beliefs, your assumptions, your expectations. These are the building blocks of your reality. When you believe in lack, when you assume scarcity, that's exactly what you'll experience. Your mind will filter your experiences, focusing on every instance of not enough, reinforcing your belief in a world of limitation. But when you shift your consciousness to abundance, when you truly believe and expect wealth and prosperity, your experience of the world transforms. Opportunities that were always there suddenly become visible. Resources you never noticed appear at your fingertips. The universe itself seems to conspire to fulfill your expectations of abundance. This isn't about denying the current state of your bank account or pretending that bills don't exist. It's about understanding that your external reality is a reflection of your internal state. By changing your inner world, your beliefs, assumptions, and expectations. Consider the power of assumption. When you assume wealth, when you live from a state of abundance, you naturally make different choices. You carry yourself differently. You interact with others differently. You approach opportunities differently. And these subtle shifts create ripples of transformation. But it's not enough to simply think positive thoughts or repeat affirmations. This transformation requires a complete overhaul of your consciousness. You must become, in your mind and heart, the wealthy person you desire to be. This is where the power of imagination comes into play. Your imagination is not mere fantasy. It's the creative force of the universe itself, expressing through you. When you vividly imagine wealth and abundance, when you feel the emotions associated with prosperity, you're not daydreaming. You're engaging in the most powerful creative act possible. Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine yourself living in complete financial freedom. Feel the peace, the joy, the sense of security and possibility. Experience the emotions of having more than enough, of being able to give generously, of living life on your own terms. It is not an exercise in wishful thinking. It's a deliberate act of creation. As you engage in this practice regularly, you will notice a shift. Your fears about money will begin to dissolve. Your decisions will align more with abundance than scarcity. You'll find yourself naturally gravitating towards opportunities for growth and prosperity. But here's persist. The old patterns of lack and limitation will try to reassert themselves. Doubts will creep in. The external world may not change overnight. This is where faith comes in, not blind faith, but faith based on an understanding the true nature of reality. Remember, the physical world is a reflection of consciousness. It may take time for your new state of consciousness to fully manifest in your external reality. But if you persist, if you maintain that state of wealth consciousness, regardless of external circumstances, your world will inevitably transform. This is the true meaning of acting as if. It's not about pretending or deceiving others. It's about aligning your entire being, your thoughts, feelings, and actions with the reality you wish to experience. It's about living from the end, embodying the state of wealth and abundance now, knowing that the external must conform to the internal. As you begin to live from this new state of consciousness, you'll notice subtle shifts. Perhaps you'll feel more confident in business meetings. Maybe you'll find yourself drawn to books or conversations about wealth creation. You might start seeing opportunities where before you saw only obstacles. These are signs that your inner transformation is beginning to manifest externally. Embrace them. Celebrate them. Let them reinforce your faith in the power of your consciousness to shape your reality. But what about those moments when doubt creeps in? When the bank account seems low or unexpected expenses arise? This is where the real work begins. It's easy to feel abundant when everything is going well. The true test is maintaining that state of wealth consciousness even when external circumstances seem to contradict it. Remind yourself of the truth. Abundance is your natural state. Wealth is your birthright. The external world may take time to catch up with your new inner reality, but it must and will conform if you hold steady to your new state of being. This is not about denying or ignoring your current circumstances. It's about seeing them for what they truly are, temporary conditions that have no power over your true, abundant nature. You acknowledge them, but you don't give them power. Instead, you reaffirm your commitment to living from a state of wealth and abundance. As you continue on this journey, you'll find that your entire relationship with money transforms. No longer will it be a source of stress or anxiety. Instead, it becomes a natural, joyful expression of the abundance that you are. You find yourself spending wisely but generously, investing confidently and giving. This shift in consciousness doesn't just affect your financial life. It spills over into every area of your existence. Relationships improve as you no longer come from a place of need or lack. Health enhances as you release the stress and anxiety associated with financial worry. Creativity flourishes as you free yourself from the constraints of scarcity thinking. You begin to see the world through new eyes. Where once you saw limitation, you now see infinite possibility. Where you once felt powerless, you now recognize your innate power as a conscious creator. The illusion of lack dissolves, revealing the breathtaking reality of abundance that has always been there, waiting for you to recognize. This is the transformative power of acting as if you are wealthy. It's not about pretending or faking it. It's about aligning yourself with the truth of who you really are, a being of infinite potential living in a universe of boundless abundance. As you embrace this truth, as you live from this state of wealth consciousness, you watch in awe as your life transforms, reflecting the abundance that has always been your true nature. Remember, this journey of transformation is not about reaching a destination. It's about embracing a new way of being. Every day you have the opportunity to choose abundance over scarcity, wealth over lack. Every moment is a chance to reaffirm your true prosperous nature. As you continue to act from this place of abundance, you'll find that the universe responds in kind. Opportunities will arise, resources will appear, and your external reality will increasingly reflect your inner state of wealth. But the greatest reward is not the material abundance. It's the freedom, the joy, the peace that comes from aligning with your true abundant nature. So, are you ready to shed the illusion of lack and step into the reality of abundance? Are you prepared to act as if you are wealthy and watch your life change? The choice is yours. The power is within you. Activate it. And a world of infinite abundance awaits your discovery. Now that we've unveiled the illusion of lack and recognized the abundant nature of our reality, it's time to harness the most powerful tools at our disposal: imagination and assumption. These are not mere mental exercises or flights of fancy. They are the very mechanisms through which we shape our reality and manifest our desires. What is the difference between the wealthy individual and the one struggling to make ends meet? Is it merely the numbers in their bank account? Or is it something far more fundamental, their self-image, their bare beliefs about what's possible, their expectations of life? The truth is, long before wealth manifests in the physical world, it exists as a state of consciousness. The wealthy person sees themselves as wealthy, expects abundance, and naturally aligns their actions with this self-image. This is the power of imagination and assumption at work. But how exactly does this process unfold? How can we harness these innate abilities to transform our financial reality? It begins with understanding the nature of imagination. Your imagination is not separate from reality. It is the very substance from which reality is formed. When you vividly imagine a scenario, your brain and body respond as if it were actually happening. This is why visualization techniques are so powerful in sports medicine, and yes, in wealth creation. When you imagine yourself as wealthy, and you mentally rehearse the life of abundance you desire, you're not engaging in wishful thinking. You're literally rewiring your brain, creating new neural pathways that align with your desired reality. You're training your subconscious mind to recognize and seize opportunities for wealth creation that may have always been there, but were previously invisible to you. But imagination alone is not enough. It must be coupled with assumption, the firm belief that what you've imagined is not just possible but inevitable. This is where many people falter. They can picture wealth and abundance, but deep down, they don't truly believe it's possible for them. Assumption is the bridge between imagination and manifestation. When you assume a state of wealth, when you live, think, and act as if you are already wealthy, you set in motion a series of events that must inevitably lead to the manifestation of that state. This is not about pretending or deceiving others. It's about aligning your entire being with the reality you wish to experience. It's about embodying the state of wealth so completely that it becomes your natural way of being. So how do we put this into practice? How do we use imagination and assumption to transform our financial reality? Start by creating a vivid mental image of your ideal wealthy self. See yourself living in the home you desire, driving the car you want, enjoying the lifestyle you aspire to. But don't stop at the material possessions. Imagine how you feel in this state of abundance. Experience the peace, the confidence, the joy that comes with financial freedom. As you engage in this practice, pay attention to the details. What clothes are you wearing? How do you carry yourself? How do you interact with others? The more detailed and vivid you're imagining, the more powerful its impact on your subconscious mind. Now here's the crucial step. As you imagine this scenario, you must assume it as your current reality. Feel the gratitude, the excitement, the sense of accomplishment as if you've already achieved this state of wealth. This is not about projecting into the future. It's about embodying that state of wealth right now. You might be thinking, but how can I assume wealth when my current circumstances show the opposite? This is where faith comes in, not blind faith, but faith based on understanding the creative power of your consciousness. Remember, your external world is a reflection of your inner state. By assuming the state of wealth, now regardless of current circumstances, you're setting in motion the forces that will bring that state into physical manifestation. This requires a shift in focus. Instead of obsessing over your current bank balance or financial worries, direct your attention to the abundance that surrounds you. Appreciate the wealth you already have, the air you breathe, the sun that shines, the infinite potential within you. As you cultivate this awareness of abundance, you find it easier to assume the state of wealth. Another powerful technique is to live from the end. This means structuring your day as if you were already living your ideal wealthy life. How would you start your morning? How would you approach your work? How would you interact with others? By aligning your actions with your assumed state of wealth, you reinforce that state in your subconscious mind. But what about when doubts creep in? When the bills pile up or unexpected expenses arise? This is where the real work begins. It's easy to feel wealthy when everything is going well. The true test is maintaining that state of wealth consciousness even when external circumstances seem to contradict it. You remind yourself, your imagination is more real than the world of appearances. Your assumed state of wealth is more powerful than temporary financial challenges. Instead of reacting with fear or anxiety, reaffirm your commitment to your assumed state of wealth. Use your imagination to see beyond the current circumstances to the abundance. That is your true nature. As you persist in this practice, you begin to notice subtle shifts. Perhaps you'll feel more confident in financial decisions. Maybe you'll find yourself drawn to books or conversations about wealth creation. You might start seeing opportunities where before you saw only obstacles. These are signs that your inner transformation is beginning to manifest externally. Embrace them. Celebrate them. Let them reinforce your faith in the power of your imagination and assumption. But don't stop there. As you begin to experience these changes, amplify them through your imagination. See them as confirmation of your wealthy state. Assume that they are just the beginning of the abundance that is flowing into your life. Remember, the goal is not just to accumulate money or possessions. It's to embody the state of wealth so completely that it becomes your natural way of being. This state of wealth consciousness will not only transform your financial reality, but will enhance every aspect of your life. You find that relationships improve as you no longer come from a place of need or lack. Your health may enhance as you release the stress and anxiety associated with financial worry. Your creativity may flourish as you free yourself from the constraints of scarcity thinking. As you continue to your imagination and assumption in this way, you'll discover that you're not just creating wealth, you're uncovering the abundant nature that has always been your true self. You're aligning with the infinite potential that exists within you and all around you. This journey of transformation through imagination and assumption is not always easy. There will be times when the old patterns of thinking try to reassert themselves. There will be moments when the external world seems to contradict your assumed state of wealth. In these moments, stand firm in your practice. Return to your imagination. Reinforce your assumption of wealth. Remember that your consciousness is the only true reality, and that the physical world must eventually conform to your dominant mental state. As you persist, you'll find that maintaining the state of wealth consciousness becomes easier and more natural. It will no longer feel like an effort or a practice. It will simply be who you are. And as this shift occurs, you will watch in amazement as your external reality transforms to match your inner state. Opportunities for wealth creation will seem to appear out of nowhere. The resources you need will show up at just the right time. People who can help you on your journey will enter your life. And through it all, you maintain a sense of peace, confidence, and joy that comes from knowing you are the creator of your reality. This is the true power of imagination and assumption. It's not about daydreaming or wishful thinking. It's about consciously directing the creative force of the universe that expresses through you. It's about aligning your entire being with the wealth and abundance that is your birthright. So, as you move forward on this journey, commit to making full use of your imagination. Vividly picture your ideal wealthy self. Feel the emotions associated with financial freedom. Assume the state of wealth as your current reality, regardless of external circumstances. And remember, this is not a one-time event. It's a way of life. Every day you have the opportunity to reinforce your state of wealth consciousness through your imagination and assumption. Every moment is a chance to align more fully with the abundance that is your true nature. As you do this, you'll find that acting as if you are wealthy becomes effortless. You will no longer feel like an act, because you have fully embodied that state of wealth. And from this place of alignment, you watch in awe as your life transforms, reflecting the abundance that has always been within you. The power to create the wealth you desire lies within you. It always has. Through your imagination and assumption, you hold the key to unlocking a life of true abundance. The choice is yours. The power is yours. And a world of infinite possibility awaits your command. So, are you ready to fully harness the power of your imagination? Are you prepared to assume the state of wealth and watch as your reality transforms? The time is now. The power is within you. And the life of abundance you've always dreamed of is waiting for you. As we've explored the power of imagination and assumption in creating wealth, we now come to the most crucial element of this transformative process: persistent faith. This is where the rubber meets the road, where your commitment to your vision of wealth is truly tested. What does it mean to have faith in the context of manifesting wealth? It's not about blindly believing in a future windfall or passively waiting for abundance to fall into your lap. No, the faith we're talking about is an unwavering conviction in the reality of your imagined state of wealth, a steadfast belief in the creative power of your consciousness. This faith is the bridge between our inner world of imagination and the outer world of physical manifestation. It's the fuel that keeps your vision alive when circumstances seem to contradict it. It's the anchor that holds you steady in your assumed state of wealth, regardless of temporary financial fluctuations. Maintaining this faith isn't always easy. There'll be moments of doubt, times when your bank account seems to mock your vision of abundance, days when the weight of bills and financial responsibilities threatens to crush your spirits. These are the moments that separate those who truly transform their financial reality from those who remain trapped in cycles of lack and limitation. So how do you cultivate and maintain this persistent faith? It starts with understanding that faith is not something you either have or don't have. It's a muscle that you strengthen through consistent practice. Every time you choose to hold fast to your vision of wealth in the face of contradictory circumstances, you're building that faith muscle. One powerful practice is to create a daily ritual of reaffirming your wealth consciousness. This could be a morning meditation where you fully immerse yourself in the feeling of abundance. Or it might be an evening review where you identify all the ways abundance manifested in your day, no matter how small. The key is consistency, doing this every single day, regardless of how you feel or what's happening in your external world. Another crucial aspect of maintaining faith is managing your mental diet. Just as you're careful about what you put into your physical body, you must be vigilant about what you feed your mind. Limit exposure to negative news about the economy or fearful conversations about money. Instead, surround yourself with stories of abundance, with people who believe in the possibility of wealth, with ideas that expand your conception of what's possible. But what about when doubts creep in? Because they will. It's natural for the human mind to question, to seek evidence, to want proof. The key is not to resist these doubts, but to meet them with understanding, and then gently redirect your focus back to your vision of wealth. God arises my just a thought. It has no power unless I give it power. I choose instead to give power to my vision of abundance. Then immediately immerse yourself in the feeling of wealth and abundance. Feel the gratitude, the joy, the freedom as if it's already your reality. This is where the power of your imagination becomes crucial. Use it to create a vivid inner experience of wealth that's more real, more tangible to you than any temporary external circumstance. The more real you can make this inner experience, the easier it becomes to maintain faith in its eventual physical manifestation. Remember, the external world is always catching up to your inner reality. Your current financial circumstances are the result of past thoughts and beliefs. By maintaining faith in your new state of wealth consciousness, you are setting in motion the forces that will bring that state into physical manifestation. But faith without action is empty. This doesn't mean struggling or striving from a place of lack. Instead, it means allowing inspired action to flow naturally from your state of wealth consciousness. When you truly feel wealthy, you'll find yourself naturally drawn to opportunities for growth and abundance. You'll make decisions from a place of confidence rather than fear. You'll invest in yourself and your future without hesitation. As you take these inspired actions, see them as confirmation of your wealthy state. Appreciate them as evidence of your transformation rather than prerequisites for it. This subtle shift in perspective can make all of the difference in maintaining your faith. It's also important to cultivate patience. The physical world, it may take time to fully reflect your new inner state. This is where many people falter, giving up just before their vision starts to materialize. But remember, every moment you maintain your faith in your wealthy state is bringing you closer to its physical manifestation. Think of it like planting a seed. You don't dig it up every day to check if it's growing. You trust in the natural process, providing water and sunlight consistently. In the same way, you must trust in the process of manifestation, consistently providing the warmth of your imagination and the sunlight of your faith. As you persist in this practice, you begin to notice signs of your manifesting wealth. Perhaps unexpected opportunities arise. Maybe you receive a surprise refund or bonus. Or you might simply feel a growing sense of peace and confidence about money. Celebrate these signs, no matter how small. See them as confirmation that your faith is working, that your new reality is taking shape. But don't stop there. Use these manifestations to fuel your faith even further. Let them strengthen your conviction in the power of your consciousness to create your reality. Let them inspire you to dream even bigger, to expand your vision of what's possible. As your faith grows stronger, you will find that maintaining your state of wealth consciousness becomes easier and more natural. What once felt like an effort becomes your default state. You no longer have to constantly remind yourself to think abundantly. You will simply be who you are. This is when true transformation occurs. You're no longer acting as if you're wealthy. You are wealthy in the deepest sense of the word. Your wealth is no longer dependent on external circumstances. It's an inner state of abundance that flows out into every aspect of your life. From this place of unshakable faith, you become a powerful force for abundance in the world. Your very presence inspires others to believe in the possibility of wealth. Your actions create ripples of prosperity that extend far beyond your personal finances. But perhaps the greatest reward of this persistent faith is the profound sense of peace it brings. When you truly know, at the core of your being, that abundance is your natural state, that you have the power to create the wealth you desire. You're free to enjoy life fully, to give generously, to pursue your passions without the constant stress of money concerns. This is the true promise of wealth consciousness, not just material abundance, but a deep, abiding sense of enoughness. And knowing that you are the source of your abundance, and that source is infinite and eternal. So as you move forward on this journey of manifesting wealth, commit to cultivating this persistent faith. Choose each and every day to stand firm in your vision of abundance, regardless of external circumstances. Use your imagination to make your inner experience of wealth more real than any temporary financial challenge. Take inspired action from a place of confidence and abundance. And above all, trust in the process. Trust in the creative power of your consciousness. Trust that as you maintain your faith, as you persist in your assumed state of wealth, your external reality must and will conform to your inner world. Remember, this journey of transformation is not about reaching a destination. It's about embracing a new way of being. Every day is an opportunity to strengthen your faith, to deepen your wealth consciousness, to align more fully with the abundance that is your true nature. The power to create the wealth you desire has always been within you. Through your persistent faith, you're not just manifesting money or possessions, you're manifesting the truth of who you be. A being of infinite abundance, living in a universe of limitless possibility. So, are you ready to stand firm in your faith? Are you prepared to persist in your vision of wealth, no matter what? The choice is yours. The power is within you. And a world of true abundance awaits your unwavering belief. As we conclude this exploration of acting as if you are wealthy, remember that the transformation you seek is already within you. You have the imagination to create a vivid vision of wealth. You have the power to assume that state as your current reality. And you have a capacity for persistent faith that will bring that vision into manifestation. The journey may not always be easy, but it is always worth it. For in choosing to act as if you are wealthy, in choosing to align with the abundance that is your true nature, you're not just changing your financial reality. You're stepping into the fullness of who you truly are. You're claiming the life of joy, freedom and abundance that has already been your birthright. So go forth with confidence. Live from that state of all consciousness. Maintain your faith even when circumstances seem to contradict it. And watch in awe as your life transforms, reflecting the abundance that has always been within you. The power is yours. The time is now. Your wealthy self awaits.
Consider, if you will, the nature of your desires. What is it that you truly want? Is it abundance in all its forms? Is it love that fills your heart to overflowing? Is it the realization of your grandest dreams? Whatever it may be, I tell you now with absolute certainty, it is already yours. Yes, you heard me correctly. Everything you desire is already in your possession, waiting for you to claim it in your consciousness. You see, the world of Caesar, this physical realm we inhabit, is but a shadow, a reflection of the true reality that exists within your imagination. It is in that sacred inner world where all things are possible, where all dreams are real, and where you are the master of your destiny. When you learn to act as if you have everything, you are not pretending or deceiving yourself. You are in fact aligning yourself with the truth of your being. Let us pause for a moment and truly contemplate this idea. Close your eyes, if you will, and imagine yourself in possession of everything you have ever wanted. Feel the weight of abundance in your hands. Sense the warmth of love enveloping your entire being. Experience the exhilaration of living your dreams in vivid detail. This, my dear friends, is not an exercise in futility. This is the very act of creation itself. As you sit there, eyes closed, fully immersed in the reality of your desires fulfilled, you are tapping into the infinite power of your imagination. You are at this very moment planting the seeds of your future in the fertile soil of the present. For what is imagination if not the very substance of things hoped for? The evidence of things not yet seen in the world of Caesar? Now, open your eyes and look around you. The world may appear unchanged, but I assure you a profound shift has occurred within you. You have, for a brief moment, lived in the end. You have experienced the feeling of the wish fulfilled. And it is this feeling, this unwavering knowing, that will bridge the gap between your present circumstances and the realization of your desires in the physical world. But let us not be content with mere glimpses of our desired reality. The art of acting as if you have everything requires consistent practice, unwavering faith, and a willingness to persist in the face of apparent contradictions. It demands that you maintain the feeling of your wish fulfilled, not just in moments of quiet contemplation, but in every waking moment of your day. Imagine, if you will, a man who desires great wealth. He does not hope for riches. He does not wish for prosperity. He knows with every fiber of his being that he is wealthy beyond measure. How does this man carry himself? How does he speak? How does he think and feel about money? Does he worry about lack? Does he fret over bills? Does he deny himself the pleasures of life out of fear of scarcity? No, my friends, this man walks with the confidence of a king. He speaks with the authority of one who commands infinite resources. He thinks and feels abundantly, seeing opportunities where others see obstacles. He is generous, knowing that his wealth is limitless. He enjoys the fruits of his prosperity without guilt or hesitation, for he understands that abundance is his birthright. This man is not play acting or fooling himself. He is living from the end, experiencing in his imagination the reality he wishes to manifest. And in doing so, he aligns himself with the creative forces of the universe, setting in motion a series of events that will bring his imaginal act into physical fruition. Now, some of you may be thinking, but Neville, how can I act as if I have everything when my current reality shows me lack? How can I feel wealthy when my bank account is empty? How can I feel loved when I am alone? These are natural questions born from a lifetime of accepting the illusion of external reality as the ultimate truth. But I say to you with all the conviction of my being that your external reality is nothing more than a shadow of your past thoughts and beliefs. It is the fruit of seeds planted in your imagination in days gone by. And just as surely as those thoughts created your present circumstances, your current thoughts and imaginings are creating your future reality. Therefore, to act as if you have everything is not to deny your present circumstances, but to rise above them. It is to understand that your true self, your God self, exists in a realm where all things are possible, where time is fluid, and where your desires are already fulfilled. When you act from this understanding, you are not pretending, you are claiming your divine inheritance. Consider the biblical phrase, before they call, I will answer. This is not some distant God responding to our pleas. This is the promise of your own divine nature, assuring you that everything you could ever desire already exists in the realm of infinite possibilities. Your task is simply to align your consciousness with that reality, to live from the end, to act as if you already possess everything you want. But how, you may ask, does one begin this practice? How does one act as if they have everything in the face of apparent lack? The answer, my dear friends, lies in the power of your wonderful human imagination. Your imagination is the very workshop wherein you fashion the images of the world you wish to inhabit. It is the canvas upon which you paint the masterpiece of your life. Begin by selecting a scene, a short, simple scene that implies the fulfillment of your desire. If you wish for wealth, perhaps it is the scene of you looking at a bank statement with a balance that thrills you. If you seek love, it might be the feeling of your beloved's arms around you as you fall asleep. Whatever your desire, create a scene that, if it were true, would imply the fulfillment of that desire. Now enter that scene in your imagination. Do not merely visualize it as if watching a movie. Step into it. Be the protagonist in this drama of your creation. Feel the textures, hear the sounds, smell the scents. Make it as real and as vivid as you possibly can. And most importantly, feel the emotion, the joy, the gratitude, the love that this fulfilled desire brings you. Repeat this imaginal act night after night, day after day. Let it be the last thing you experience before drifting off to sleep, and the first thing you return to upon waking. Live in this state as often as you can, for in doing so you are living from the end. You are acting as if you have everything. As you persist in this practice, you will begin to notice subtle shifts in your outer world. Opportunities may arise that were not there before. People may treat you differently, responding to the new vibration you are emitting. You may find yourself naturally taking actions that align with your desire, without conscious effort or strain. These changes, my friends, are not coincidences. They are the bridge of incidents, the series of events that must occur to bring your imaginal act into physical reality. Do not question them. Do not doubt them. Simply accept them with gratitude, knowing that they are confirmation of the truth you have accepted in your imagination. But what of those moments when doubt creeps in? What of those times when the world of Caesar seems to mock your efforts, presenting you with evidence that contradicts your imaginal act? This, beloved, is where your faith is tested and strengthened. Remember, the outer world is a shadow, a reflection of past thoughts and beliefs. It takes time for this shadow to fully align with your new state of consciousness. During this period of transition, you must stand firm in your conviction. You must persist in your assumption that you already have everything you desire. When doubt arises, do not fight it. Do not resist it. Simply observe it, acknowledge it, and then gently return to the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Remind yourself that your imagination is the reality, and that the world of Caesar must conform to it in due time. For it is written, the vision has its own appointed hour. It ripens, it will flower. If it be long, then wait, for it is sure and it will not be late. As you continue to act as if you have everything, you will find that your entire being begins to shift. Your thoughts naturally align with abundance. Your words reflect the reality of your fulfilled desire. Your actions spring from a place of confidence and certainty. You no longer hope for a better future. You live it now in the eternal present of your imagination. This, my dear friends, is the art and science of creation. It is the method by which you can transcend the limitations of your current circumstances and step into the life you truly desire. It is not magic, though its results may seem magical. It is not wishful thinking, though it begins with a wish. It is the practical application of the creative power that resides within you, the power that is your divine birthright. As we delve deeper into this practice, let us consider the nature of time itself. In the world of Caesar, time appears linear, a straight line stretching from past to future, with the present as a fleeting point of transition. But in the realm of imagination, in the kingdom of God within you, time is fluid. Past, present, and future exist simultaneously, and you have the power to select the reality you wish to experience. When you act as if you have everything, you are essentially stepping out of the linear time of Caesar and into the eternal now of imagination. You are selecting from the infinite possibilities that exist the reality that aligns with your desire. And as you dwell in that reality in your imagination, you draw it into your physical experience. Consider the words of Scripture: with God, all things are possible. This is not a statement about some external deity. It is a profound truth about the nature of your own being. For you are one with God, one with the creative power of the universe. When you tap into this power through your imagination, truly anything becomes possible. But my beloved listeners, I must caution you. This power is not to be used frivolously or for the harm of others. For in harming others, you only harm yourself. Remember, there is no other in the ultimate reality. We are all one, all expressions of the same divine consciousness. Therefore, use this power wisely for the betterment of all. As you practice acting as if you have everything, you may find that your desires themselves begin to shift. What once seemed important may lose its luster. What you thought you wanted may pale in comparison to the infinite possibilities you now perceive. This is natural and beautiful. It is a sign of your expanding consciousness, your growing awareness of your true nature. Embrace these shifts. Allow your imagination to soar beyond the confines of your current desires. For in truth, the ultimate aim of this practice is not merely to acquire things or experiences, but to fully realize your oneness with the divine. It is to know beyond all doubt that you are the creator of your reality, that you are limitless, that you are, in essence, God expressing itself as you. Now let us address a question that may have arisen in your minds. If I am to act as if I have everything, does this mean I should ignore my current circumstances? Should I pretend that my problems don't exist? The answer, my friends, is both yes and no. You see, ignoring your current circumstances or pretending they don't exist is not the same as acting as if you have everything. To truly act as if you have everything requires a shift in consciousness so profound that your current circumstances cease to have power over you. You acknowledge them, but you do not give them the power to define your reality. Imagine, if you will, a great actor on the stage. When they step into a role, they do not pretend to be the character. They become the character. Every gesture, every word, every thought flows from the reality of the character they are portraying. Yet, at the same time, the actor knows that they are not truly that character. They can step out of the role at any time. This is how you must approach your current circumstances. Acknowledge them as you would acknowledge the set on the stage, but do not let them define you. Know that you can step out of this role at any time by shifting your consciousness to the reality of fulfilled desire. As you practice this, you will find that your reaction to your current circumstances begins to change. What once caused you stress or anxiety may now be met with calm detachment. For you know that these circumstances are not your true reality. They are merely shadows of past thoughts, soon to be replaced by the manifestation of your new, empowered state of consciousness. But remember, my dear friends, this is not about escaping reality. It is about creating a new reality. It is about understanding that what you perceive as reality is fluid, changeable, responsive to your consciousness. When you truly grasp this, when you live from this understanding, you are acting as if you have everything in the truest sense. Now let us delve deeper into the practical aspects of this practice. How does one maintain this state of consciousness throughout the day, amidst the demands and distractions of daily life? The key lies in cultivating a new habit of thought. a new way of perceiving and interacting with the world around you. Begin each day by immersing yourself in the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Before you open your eyes in the morning, spend a few moments living in the end, experiencing the joy and gratitude of having everything you desire. Let this feeling permeate your entire being so that you carry it with you as you rise and begin your day. As you go about your daily activities, continuously remind yourself of your true state, the state of having everything. When challenges arise, ask yourself, how would I respond to this if I truly had everything I desire? This simple question can shift your perspective dramatically, allowing you to approach situations from a place of abundance and power rather than lack and limitation. Practice gratitude for everything in your life, not from a place of need, but from a place of abundance. Be thankful not for what you hope to receive, but for what you know is already yours in the reality of your imagination. This attitude of gratitude aligns you with the frequency of abundance, drawing more reasons to be grateful into your life. Watch your words carefully, for they are powerful creators. Speak as the person who has everything would speak. Eliminate phrases of lack or limitation from your vocabulary. Instead of saying, I can't afford that, say, that's not a priority for me right now. Instead of saying, I'm trying to find love, say, I am loved deeply and completely. Your words shape your reality. Choose them wisely. In your interactions with others, carry yourself with the confidence and ease of someone who wants for nothing. This doesn't mean being arrogant or boastful. Rather, it means exuding a quiet confidence, a sense of inner peace and satisfaction that naturally draws people and opportunities to you. When you find yourself slipping back into old patterns of thought or behavior, do not berate yourself. Simply observe it, acknowledge it, and gently guide your consciousness back to the state of having everything. Remember, this is a practice. Like any skill, it takes time and patience to master. Be kind to yourself as you learn and grow. As you persist in this practice, you will begin to notice a profound shift in your perception of the world. What once seemed impossible will start to feel inevitable. What once caused you anxiety will be met with calm assurance. You will find yourself naturally taking inspired action, effortlessly moving towards the realization of your desires in the world of teaser. But here, my beloved listeners, is where many stumble. As they begin to see evidence of their imaginal act manifesting in the physical world, they become excited and anxious. They start to wonder when their desire will fully manifest. They look for signs and try to figure out how it will happen. In doing so, they slip out of the state of the wish fulfilled and back into the state of wanting and seeking. This is a crucial point in your journey. When you begin to see the bridge of incidents forming, when you notice the world rearranging itself to accommodate your new reality, you must hold steady in your assumption. Do not be moved by appearances. Do not try to figure out how your desire will manifest. Simply continue to live from the end, knowing with unshakable faith that what you have imagined must come to pass. Remember the words of Scripture, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Your faith, your absolute knowing that you have everything you desire, is the very substance that brings your desire into physical manifestation. It is the evidence of the unseen reality that exists in your imagination. As you continue to act as if you have everything, you may find that your relationship with desire itself begins to change. You may discover that the joy you sought in the fulfillment of your desires was available to you all along. For in truth, the state of having everything is not about possessing things or experiences. It is a state of consciousness, a way of being in the world. When you truly embody this state, you realize that there is nothing to seek, nothing to strive for. Everything you could ever want or need is already within you, waiting to be expressed. This realization brings a profound sense of peace and fulfillment. You no longer chase after desires, for you know that you are the source of all desires and their fulfillment. This, my dear friends, is the ultimate freedom. It is the state of being that all spiritual teachings point towards. It is the kingdom of heaven that is within you. When you act as if you have everything, you are claiming your rightful place in this kingdom. You are acknowledging your oneness with the divine, your role as a co-creator of reality. But let us be clear. This state of consciousness does not mean that you cease to have preferences or that you become passive in the world. On the contrary, when you act as if you have everything, you are free to engage with life fully, to express your unique gifts and talents without fear or limitation. You become a channel for the infinite creativity of your universe, bringing forth new ideas, new experiences, new manifestations of love and beauty into the world. As we near the end of our time together, I want to address a question that may have arisen in your minds. If I am to act as if I have everything, does this mean I should never set goals or make plans for the future? The answer, my beloved, is that goals and plans take on a new meaning when you live from this state of consciousness. You see, when you act as if you have everything, your goals are no longer desperate attempts to fill a perceived lack. They become joyful expressions of your infinite potential. Your plans are not rigid roadmaps to a distant future, but fluid, inspired actions arising from your alignment with the divine flow of life. In this state, you may find that you accomplish more than you ever thought possible, yet with less struggle and strain, for you are no longer pushing against the current of life, but flowing with it. You are no longer trying to make things happen, but allowing them to unfold naturally from your expanded state of consciousness. And so, my dear friends, as we conclude this exploration of acting as if you have everything, I urge you to take this practice into your daily life. Begin now in this very moment to live from the state of your wish fulfilled. Feel the joy, the gratitude, the love that comes from knowing that everything you desire is already yours. Remember, this is not about pretending or deceiving yourself. It is about aligning yourself with the deepest truth of your being. It is about claiming your divine inheritance as a creator of reality. It is about living from the understanding that you are one with the infinite power that creates worlds. As you leave this place and return to your daily lives, carry with you the knowledge that you have everything. Let it inform your thoughts, your words, your actions. Let it transform your perception of the world and your place in it. For in truth, you are not separate from the world. You are the world experiencing itself through your unique perspective. Act as if you have everything and watch as the world rearranges itself to match your assumption. Live from the end and see how the path to that end unfolds before you. Be the person who has everything and discover that you have always been that person, waiting to be acknowledged and expressed. Go forth, my beloved, and create the life you desire. For you are the operant power. You are the divine made flesh. You are the creator of your reality. Everything you could ever want or need is already within you. Claim it, live it, be it. And always remember, the world is yourself pushed out. As you transform your inner world, your outer world must follow. This is the law. This is the promise. This is the truth that sets you free. Thank you, my dear friends, for your attention and your willingness to explore these profound truths. May you go forth in the knowing that you are loved, that you are powerful beyond measure, and that you have everything. For you are, in truth, everything. God bless you all.